I think this is like 1954 Chicago coin Playtime bowler. It's a 20-30 game, which means strikes and spares are 20-30, but it's progressive. As you move up in the frames, you go 60-40, 90, 60, and 120, 80. It's a 6-player with score reels. It's probably one of the first ones with score reels. It's just a guess on my part. I don't really know the exact year. Anyways, the score reels amazingly weren't all gummed up with grease. They usually are, but in fact this one was pretty good. I did have to do some work on the stepper units down here. And there's a number of stepper units. There's the coin unit right here, which determines the number of players. There's the frame unit, which determines what frame you're in. And then they've got some units that are kind of related to winning games. You can win games on this. You've got a number, a star, and a crown. So these are 3 ways that you can win games. And then up here, you've got the actual player unit. This directs, you know, the scoring to any particular set of reels. So all those had to be cleaned and properly lubricated with where this side, the rivets had to be cleaned, and then lightly lubed with Teflon gel lube. Back to those winning things, you've got a crown, the number of crowns, the numbers and the stars in this column. As you play the game, you can win games on this based on that and the stepper units and what you hit. I don't have that all figured out, but it's kind of interesting. Anyways, let's look at the pin deck. The pin deck was a problem on this game. It's missing the lead pin. See, we're missing the number 1 pin. And it's missing its associated relay. It's just gone. I don't know where it is. I don't know those parts. This uses 8.5-inch pins. Not something that's easy to find. These release really nice. They're a nice latch system. A little bit of adjustment needed where you have to bend the tab right here to get just the lightest adjustment. Also, the relay back here controls the motor. So I did a little adjustment on that, but for the most part, the pin deck wasn't too bad. Now we're going to move to the belly of the game. The playfield actually lifts up like a casket, and I'll show you the inside of that. So here's the belly of the game with it lifted up. This stuff in front has to relates to winning games, and it's kind of like in a credit accumulation system. Don't really need to worry about that too much. People don't really care about winning games on bowlers in their homes since they're not paying for games anyways. Score motor, this plate on the front here had to be cleaned, polished up with 600 grit sandpaper, and then lightly lubed with Teflon gel lube. Each one of these pin relays, you know, you can see that they relate to the pin numbers. Like the one on the left is pin 1, and then pin, what is it, 2 and 6, and 3, and 7 and 8, and so on and so forth. All these had to be checked for adjustment. There were a few out, but not too bad. The main thing that really concerned me on this game was this. This is wax. And why is there wax, melted wax, in the bottom of the cabinet? There's melted wax because the wax came from the transformer. When I originally got here, there was a number of fuses on this game that they had wrapped in tinfoil. So they had wrapped the fuses in tinfoil, inserted them in there on 2 of them, and instead of the fuse blowing and becoming the weakest link in the chain, now the transformer is, and the transformer obviously heated up, and then you get melted wax in the bottom. So fixed problems related to that. I mean, we got rid of all the, put in correct fuses, went through all the relays to make sure that everything worked, and that everything was adjusted correctly. Now, the one thing I like to do on these games is I set the player unit, the first player, and then I can manually activate the one. This is the 1 through 10 relay, and what that does is it moves the score reel up there. You can see I can advance the score reel, and I can see the carryover. Then I can go over to the 10 through 90 relay and advance that and watch the carryover for that. And then I can go to the back box and I can flip the player unit up 1, and then I can do the same thing for player 2 and watch the carryover on that, and like that. Do that for all 6 players, and then when I start a game I can watch all the score reels reset to 0. That's a great way to test this. Big problem with this game was we were getting inconsistent resets on this reset bank. If the reset bank doesn't reset fully, what will happen is you'll start a frame, the pins will reset all down, but then they'll immediately, several of them will go back up. That's because there's two coils, a left coil and a right coil, and if one of the coils don't work, you get kind of this cantilever effect on the bar, and it will reset only maybe the relays. If this is the coil that was working, this one was not, it'll reset all these, but not necessarily these. So what happened is, you could test the resistance. I know that the resistance of these coils is 16 ohms each. Each coil is 16 ohms. So they're in parallel. So when you put your meter on this, instead of getting 16 ohms, you'll get 8 ohms. Now I knew that because I knew the resistance and checked the resistance of either this side or that side. It didn't matter, and I'm getting 16 ohms. I know that one coil is broken. And in fact, there was a winding broken on the coil, and I was able to unwind one wrap, strip back the enamel and resolder it. So now both coils are working, and you get an additive coil resistance of 8 ohms between the two. Didn't really have to do anything to the deck switches. They were all in pretty good adjustment. I did put the game on free play, but I did it by, this one has coin slides. And on these coin slides, what you can do, pretty neat trick, is remove this one spring. This spring right here, I remove this spring so that this lever is not pushing against this, and then you can move this thing in all the way, and that way you can start a game without having a dime in the chute. So I'll basically put the game on free play. So let's try a game. Start it by pushing in the reset or the coin thing, and then unfortunately we're missing the lead pin. So sometimes you think you get a strike or a spare, and it's because you didn't get the lead pin. But I'll try my best here to play a game here. Okay, so it looks like all I need is the 7, and I'll get a spare. And I missed it. Damn. God, I can't believe I missed it. We need to put sawdust on this thing too. We don't have any. Oh, great. This is great, a 7-10 split. Like, I'm gonna get that. Oh, I got it! Oh, I got a 7-10 split. He's the owner. He doesn't look too thrilled with this whole thing. Oh, okay, so I'll get another spare maybe? I got it. I got the spare. So now it has advanced from 30-20 up to 60-40 because we're in the 4th frame. So I can try and do better here. I can get another spare maybe. I got it. I got another spare. Okay, so now I got a 40. But anyways, it advances through. The game works pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it overall.